Hey there, how are ya? I hope you're doing good on this day. I just returned home from a little bit of work, and on my way to work, I stopped at a local Whole Foods to get a little something for my client. And as I was checking out, I was having a little conversation with the person who was at the register, and then I looked over there, and there was a sister from my old congregation, and we were pretty good friends. And I brightened up and I said, "Hi, Beverly." And she made eye contact with me and then kind of just like darted to the side. And I looked over there and I saw them. It was the group of the little Jehovah's Witnesses who were having break at Whole Foods. And the last time I had seen Beverly, I was with my son, and it was on a Saturday afternoon or Sunday afternoon in Starbucks. And she had tried to walk past us that day too, but we stopped her and talked to her. But today that didn't happen. And for a little bit, I didn't know how I was going to feel about that. And then I went ahead and did my work with my client, and then I got in my car to come home and I started thinking about it, and I thought I would feel sad. But I don't really feel sad. I felt sorry for her because in that moment she had to make a decision to go against her will. I mean, she wanted to talk to me. I'm a nice person. And she wanted to say, "Hi, how are you?" But she did not. Ugh. And I remember how that used to be. And maybe some of you do too. And it just makes me feel sorry for those people who are still trapped. And I do have a lot of tender love for them because I really do believe that they are being victimized by the organization that tells them that you have to go against your feelings, that you're not to trust your heart. You should absolutely trust your heart. Your heart and your inner being is looking out for your best interests. And you know what your best interests are? Being good to people and being good to yourself. And it got me to thinking a little bit about some of us. And what I mean is, some of the freshly out XJWs or people who are kind of in that physically in, mentally almost out, and trying to deal with what it, the fear maybe of what you're about to lose. And I remember being there too. And I remember in the first year, or almost, I guess it's two now, thinking of all the things, all of the people that I lost. And if that's you, if you're being sad because you've lost family members and you've lost friends, I hear you. And I know that feels terrible. What we've gone through is trauma. It's a, a spiritual awakening is rarely pretty. It's almost always gross and messy and a little bit like a crime scene. Or certainly where there is someone who is, hemorrhaging emotionally. And I get that. And I was that person too. So when there's a trauma and somebody is hemorrhaging and someone is, experiencing that kind of rupture, you got to stop the bleeding. You have to stop the bleeding. And so it takes pressure. It takes something that feels firm, something that feels safe, compression, and then you have to stabilize the patient. And I think so many of us we just are overcome by the feelings that all we can do is just scream and kick and thrash. And maybe that's part of the process too. There will come a day when you will suddenly become very aware that the loss is theirs, that you have gained your freedom. I read on the Reddits and on some of the XJW groups on social media, people who have been out for a short amount of time and they're so incredibly sad still. And they'll say, I'm thinking about going back because at least when I was a Jehovah's Witness, I knew what I was going to do on Sunday morning, or at least I knew that I would be around people, and now I feel so isolated. And I said those things too. And what I've recently realized is that you should never settle for at least. You should always go for as big as you can. You want the most because, sweetheart, you're worth it. You are worth more than just having a place to be. But for now, when it's hurting so bad, you don't have to be anywhere but right here. Stabilize the patient. Stop the bleeding. Be still. Listen to your heart. What is your heart telling you that you need? And I think sometimes it comes down to the fact that most of us did not grow up loving ourselves. We were told that we were supposed to be selfless and that we were supposed to put someone else or something else above everything that felt right to us. And that's not right. You should be in love with you because you are an amazing person. You are a survivor, and you have the potential to be a thriver. And I know this. So I just want to send you that firm hug. I hope right now that you will just do this. Hug yourself. If you're not brave enough to say this to yourself, I want to say it to you. I love you. Now I hope that you'll go into the mirror and you will look at yourself in the mirror and you'll say, I love you. And it might feel really fake and weird and icky, but the day is going to come when it doesn't feel icky at all. When it feels like the most natural thing to do to love you. Stabilize the patient. Take good care of the patient. Be still and settle for nothing less than incredible because you're so worth it. Mwah.